Kirishima keeps kicking the rocks in the path. He doesn't mean to, but there are a lot littered around the ground of the narrow alleys, and on top of that, it's dark. Every time he kicks one, Mina jumps. "Stop doing that, Kiri," Mina hisses, swatting at his arm. "I can't see well enough," Kirishima says back, his voice a whisper. "You're so jumpy." "We're going to see a witch. Of course I'm jumpy," Mina says, shivering. "Aren't you spooked?" Kirishima hums. "I'm not really sure what to expect, so I guess not." Ojiro is confident enough. Ojiro turns around to look at both of them. "They smell fear, you know." Mina whines and walks closer to Kirishima, wrapping her hands around his arm. "I don't know why you're holding on to me." Kirishima laughs. "You have more experience with fighting, and haven't you met her before?" "Shut up and stop kicking rocks," Mina says. "Yeah, I've met her. That's why I'm throwing you to her if she so much as makes eye contact with me." "What?" Kirishima slumps against her. "I can't believe I'm being used like this." "Get." She pushes him up, laughing. "Get off, dumbass. That's what you get for leaving me alone at that tavern." "You were with Hatsume," Kirishima counters. I'm so sure that's what you were thinking about when Bakugou dragged you back to the ship. I was worried someone found you out." Sorry. Kirishima laughs. He does feel bad, though, that she was worried over him. "Guys." Ojiro turns around again. "You're so loud she'll probably refuse us entry." "Right, shutting up," Mina says, saluting at him. Ojiro nods at her and turns around. Kirishima follows Ojiro through the alleys. He hears water running somewhere nearby, and before he knows it, their rubbled, cobbled path becomes dirt, and the walls around him become tall foliage, black instead of green in the darkness. His feet start to stick to the ground as it becomes muddy. "We have to wade through," Ojiro says. The lamp he carries is the only thing lighting their way. Kirishima hopes he doesn't sink suddenly or step off a hidden bank. He can't swim that well. The water goes up to his waist, but he follows carefully behind Ojiro. It smells muddy and sticky, and he dreads how his boots will stink over the next few days. The water level lowers, and Kirishima is in awe as little lights start to light their way, glowing insects trapped in glass cages, sending an eerie, otherworldly flicker across their path. "That's it," Ojiro says, pointing to a hut, mossy and tangled within a tree, whose roots twist and tie themselves over the watery forest floor. "She knows we're coming." "Did you send a letter?" Kirishima asks. Ojiro laughs, but Kirishima wasn't joking. He feels like he's being watched. The forest is filled with sounds, the wet ground, the buzzing lights, and the chirping of night animals. But something strange is suspended in the air that makes everything seem quieter than it is. It makes him want to whisper when he talks. "We're just walking in." Ojiro nods, and they ascend the creaking, slippery steps, opening the door to the witch's hut. Kirishima gets chills when he walks through the door, hanging vines brushing against his shoulders as he goes into the crowded room. Every inch of the place is covered, floor to ceiling, with talismans, beads, hair, parts of animals, parts of things Kirishima can't tell are animals or not. Eyes and teeth, bones and fur, in jars, on the walls, tied into bundles and tucked into the corners of shelves. He shudders. "It's been a while, Mashiro." A woman's voice comes from somewhere near Ojiro. Both Kirishima and Mina jump. Kirishima didn't notice her. Was she always in the room? He squints. It's hard to look right at her for some reason, like there's a constant shadow. If he were to lose focus, he thinks she'd disappear. Kirishima's eyebrows lift high when she slips an arm around Ojiro's waist, smiling up at him. Ojiro looks down at her, smiling softly. It makes Kirishima want to give them space. He wonders if that's how the crew feels when he stares at Bakugou too long over breakfast, but then again, Mina isn't batting an eye at it. "You only come when you need something," she says, but she's not sad, just playful. Kirishima grins at the blush on Ojiro's cheeks as he looks away. Yes, we need medicine, Hagakure. We've gathered quite a bit in town, but we'd like some of yours, if you'll sell it to us. Ojiro says, The herbs you have for pain are much more effective. Our medic made salve of them before, and they've saved many of our crew from infection. Hagakure's eyes flick to Kirishima's fast, and make him jump. This is the medic? Ojiro nods. Mina shifts away from him. He's new. Hagakure says. Kirishima shivers under her gaze. She steps forward and Kirishima resists the urge to step back. She seems like she's holding back, retaining somehow a bustling energy within her, putting on the air of being subdued. It's creepy, the way she is both so present, yet not at all. He's hiding something. Kirishima sees Mina and Ojiro glance at one another. Hagakure frowns at him. You're going to cause a great deal of trouble for my Mashirao. Kirishima looks to Ojiro, quizzical. He shrugs. Sorry? Hagakure studies his face and hums. Don't apologize yet. There are many paths in every life. Now, what do you have for me? We have the veil of a dead bride, Ojiro says, clearing his throat. Kirishima is half worried about her words, but Ojiro seems unfazed. So he wonders if he should just let it slide. He watches as Ojiro reaches into the sack at his side. Bottled venom from snakes in the Ka region, incense, amulets. You take your pick. You robbed a grave. Kirishima murmurs, looking to Mina, glad to have the attention off of him. She shrugs. For being superstitious, she's sure got involved with enough superstition-inducing things. Fair enough, she says. She disappears past a beaded curtain, which when Kirishima looks a little closer, he sees that they're little bones and teeth. It's gruesome, but amazes him too. She returns soon and hands a heavy pouch to Ojiro. And another thing. Kirishima speaks up as Mina seems to be dead set on as little interaction as possible. Our captain suffers from nightmares. Do you have anything to treat them? Hagakure smiles. Why didn't your dear captain come along? How is he anyway? Ojiro rubs the back of his neck. Other business. I know you're lying, Hagakure says. She moves like a snake through the items on the floor and hangings from the ceilings, not disturbing a single one. She sits in a wooden chair, leaving her elbows on the table, where space suddenly seems to be free. It's the truth, Mina pipes up then. He's doing business. Not the whole truth, Hagakure says, glancing at her so sharply Mina flinches. What's it matter? Mina asks in spite of herself. Last time he was here, you kept trying to cut off his hair to sell it to some fucking government dogs. Of course he doesn't want to come after that. He knocked over half your shit and you made him pay for it. So he has a grudge. Hagakure laughs. Mina can't help but nod, a small smile playing at her lips. Kirishima thinks that sounds like Bakugou. Well, Hagakure looks to him. I have a basic treatment, but if I don't meet him, I can't guarantee it'll do him any good. Kirishima doesn't think it's a good idea they even let Bakugou know they're trying to help him. Help wasn't high on the list of things he liked. They could try this first, and if they needed to find another way, so be it. Basic is fine for now. Interesting path. Kirishima isn't quite sure he understands what she means. What was he hiding? Feelings, perhaps. Take a worry stone, she says. She reaches across the contents of her table and pulls forward a glass jar, filled with small, shiny black stones. She takes one out and runs her fingers across it. It should ease his mind, but everyone is different. Place it under his pillow. It works best if he doesn't know about it. The medic is probably best fit for that task. Ojiro snorts and Mina snickers next to him. Kirishima takes the stone from her, embarrassed. If his affection was so obvious, surely Bakugou could at least bring it up sometime. He pockets the stone. Then again, maybe she knew because she was a witch. The cost of the stone is a worry, Hagakure says. Kirishima tilts his head. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm sorry.
I need to fill up my curses,
Hagakure says. She stands and sifts through her room for what she's looking for. Despite the clutter, Kirishima can tell she knows exactly where it is. She comes back with 2 jars. They're like the one filled with black stones, but these are clear and white. She holds one out to Kirishima.
Take a stone and whisper it a worry, a fear.
Do I have to do it in front of everyone? Kirishima asks, but he takes it out anyways, holding it in his hand. He can think of a million things to worry about. His sister, his mother, if they'll get attacked again, if he'll die, Bakugou.
I can plug my ears if you want, but I have a pretty good idea of what you're gonna say,
Mina says, slapping her hands over her ears and grinning wide. Kirishima laughs. He cups his hands to his mouth so his breath fans out over the stone, and he whispers, as low as he can. I worry he doesn't love me as much as I love him. Ojiro coughs and looks away, making Kirishima blush and guess that his whispering skills are pretty shitty. Hagakure sighs.
Another basic, but fair enough. I'll accept it.
Kirishima hands back the stone. Nothing seems to have changed, but Hagakure handles it with care, placing it into one of the jars. Kirishima can't tell the difference between them, but she obviously can.
Now,
Hagakure says.
How long are you staying?
We leave tonight, Ojiro says.
A shame,
Hagakure says, tilting her head at him.
We can go on ahead,
Mina says, grabbing Kirishima's wrist.
Ojiro, don't forget the supplies.
Mina is already pulling him ahead quickly, and Kirishima takes care not to bump into anything. Thank you, Kirishima calls just as he goes through the door. He turns back, and the last thing he sees is Hagakure reaching up to wrap her arms around Ojiro's neck, his hands slipping fast around her frame. Wow, Kirishima says. Mina laughs. We don't have the lantern.
No worries, I snagged one from the porch,
Mina says, rattling at her sides. It takes a while for Kirishima's eyes to adjust to the hazy glow of the forest path. She probably knows you did.
Which is why Ojiro is going to pay for it with his body,
Mina says. Now let's get the fuck out of here.